Sure. My name is Jalal Asi, and I work for Midamar Corporation. It's a family-owned company started by my father in the early 1970s. And it was developed primarily out of the lack of what he saw as malnutrition throughout the areas of North Africa after his time in the Peace Corps. And he came back home and then subsequently later had gone over to the Middle East and to Saudi Arabia to teach English and work for an American company at the time. When he came back from there, he had started to receive letters from students and friends that he had met over there saying, our family is now into the such and such business, can you help source these items from the United States? So initially Midamar started as a trading company and then evolved later on into what we know today as a food company that is primarily in the halal sector. We are the pioneers in the halal industry in the United States, have helped in working, set some of the initial standards for halal standards and production, to which years ago no one was in the business. So we're very thankful for that and do try to continue to keep our market leader position.
And the gist of presentation in today's Halal?
Today's presentation was primarily about what are some of the perceptions that take place in the secular countries with respect to the general population, to industry, and also to government. And the purpose of it was to give a different perspective, where here in Malaysia you have JAKIM and you have DVS, I believe, where in the United States, being a secular country and the separation of church and state, that there is no regulation for the halal industry, or for that matter the kosher industry. And so the certifiers that are out there and the companies like ours that are out there are really creating their own standards, and then the goal then is to let the consumers know what you're doing and really leave it up to them. On the export side of what we do, we then meet the standards of importing countries, to which we're very thankful that we're the only USA company that is approved by JAKIM and DVS for selling beef into Malaysia. And we take that with great pride to be among a very few global leaders in that area.
All right. I'd like to ask a couple of questions that I find interesting in your presentation. You said put the value aspects of halal within our lives. What do you, if you can just elaborate on those shared values within halal, and how do we project it, all through?
Sure.
I suppose it's just part of ihsan and stuff like that, yeah?
I think part of the value system comes not just from the basis of halal itself, but part of what you learn and what we've learned growing up in a family entity. We have relatives that work in our company. We have non-relatives, and Muslims and non-Muslims. And the idea is that you do try, we don't always succeed, but we do try to treat people with respect and dignity, and look at them as more than just an employee. Granted, any company does try to do this, but if you follow suit, because you're dealing with a smaller segment of people and we're readily available, we don't hide up in the glass offices anywhere, but we are a core and part of our company. That's one basis of it. The other basis from the halal aspect is then looking at what are the requirements within Islam to meet halal criteria. So the integrity issue is extremely important, and as I tell the slaughtermen that work for us, they are the most important part of the entire supply chain for halal, because they are the ones who not only have the obligation and responsibility to perform the slaughter, but they also get, inshallah, a lot of the barakah that comes from slaughtering and knowing that Muslims are going to be consuming those foods. So without the slaughtermen, you really don't have a halal program at all. So that's another aspect of it, is respect for the people that are performing that role. One other area when we talk about the value side of it is something I look at now, especially now that I have my own children, is that we've always come with the philosophy that we will never produce a product that we would never feed to our own families. And I take that very dear to heart, in the sense that it's very easy if you want to make inferior products and fill them with additives and so on. You have to have enough of a belief that you're going to produce a quality product. It does cost more, but you're going to produce a quality product that people will purchase. Not everyone does, but the thing is that you want to know whatever you're feeding to your family is of a good level of quality and something that you can feel comfortable with.